Hi, madam. So this our presentation for International Human Resource Management Assignment 1 presentation. So my name is Chua Jun Yang, and these are my team members, Akil, Shafiq, Izzat, and Naufa. So okay. So I would like to present the introduction part. So what is offshoring? Offshoring is a process of relocating a business or business process to another country in order to benefit from reduced labor costs or a more beneficial regulatory environment. A range of processes are commonly offshore, including manufacturing, IT, customer service, research, and development. Offshoring is a controversial for a number of reasons, including reducing the economic benefit to the home country and the number of jobs available to local country, and potential exploitations concern over mass employments of cheap labor in the destination country. So I would like to pass to next presenter.
Right. Hi, my name is Muhammad Shafiq, and I will continue with the roles that will be played by international human resource management in offshoring process. So the first one is recruitment and selection. In recruitment and selection, the fresh and suitable candidate are hired by the company for international operation. So the candidate whose qualification most closely match the job requirement will be selected from this pool. Second one is in multinational companies, selected employee was strongly influenced by staffing and managing approach. For example, in a company with ethnocentric approach, parent country national staff will be placed in important position at headquarters and subsidiaries. Not only that, local law in some nations have a set particular method of selection and requirement, and the local culture have a significant impact on both. So it is important to reach a balance between internal corporate consistency and sensitivity to regional labor practices when selecting the best candidate. So next slide. So the second one is development and training. Development and training is aimed to give enough training to all employees to make sure they are enabled to achieve company goals. With providing a specialized training to get expatriate ready for the abroad assignment. So they will educate and develop staff members working in global subsidiaries. Other than that, international human resource management development program can be done in two ways, such as centralized and decentralized. In centralized approach, the training is originally from the headquarters, which means the trainers will be traveled to the subsidiaries and they will adapt themselves with the local situation. And for the decentralized, the cultural background between trainers and trainees are usually similar, which is they are from the same country. So the local people will develop training materials and technique by their own and specific area, and also important to make sure that the trainer must be qualified. So the next slide. So the third one is performance evaluation. Performance evaluation usually will be conducted for administrative or development purpose. So from the performance evaluation, the company can identify the problem of their employees in terms of job or task given. Other than that, the company also can identify the potential employee that can be offered a rewards and promotion based on their performance towards their job. Not only that, performance evaluation is also one of the challenging tasks for the international human resource manager because they need to evaluate employees from several nations who operate in various subsidiaries. Okay, next slide. So the next one is remuneration and benefit. Remuneration and benefit is one of the important things for multinational companies because people need money to survive with their lifestyle, such as paying their loan, electricity, and family. So as an international human resource manager, they will play an important role in hiring employee because pay is the main source of subsistence for most people in the world. In remuneration and benefit, there are two problems that will be faced in offshoring process, such as comparability and cost. So the first problem is comparability. The company must distribute the remuneration to workers that are both internally comparable and competitive in the market. So next, the pay of workers who might transfer from other places also be taken into the account by the international organization. The second problem is cost. For example, for the workers that will be transferred to another country to give a training to new employee, they will be paid a high salary because their expertise and professionalism to give a training for the new employee. Last but not least, the last roles that will be played by international human resource management in offshoring process is labor relation. Labor relation can be defined as the way of workers and managers of a company talk to, behave toward, and deal with each other. A great labor relation can give a lot of benefit to the company, such as a growth and development. A harmonious relationship between employees and their managers will make employees more efficient. When employees have a good relationship with their managers, they will do their best towards their job rather than the minimal to success the project. So that's why the efficiency improvement can increase the productivity and growth for the company. Other than that, it can also reduce the conflict in the organization. As an international human resource manager, they must investigating and resolve employee problem to create a positive work environment for their workers. With a positive work environment, it can help employees to give 100% concentrate towards their job. Last but not least is it can enhance employee loyalty. For example, when employees have a zero conflict in their work environment, they will feel motivated to complete their job and will feel every day is a fresh start for them. So from a healthy relationship between workers and their managers, it can give a benefit to the whole organization. So that's all from my part. I will pass it to the next presenter.
Alright, hi, and Assalamualaikum, madam. My name is Akil Zakwan bin Abdul Aziz, and I will be expanding on the benefits and disadvantage of MNC offshoring. And for the benefits, the first one, which is decreasing labor costs. Many MNC company, when going for offshoring, they are targeting for Asian country as it is more cheaper, and it is much cheaper to pay for the workers' salary. For example, I would take Apple and China, as Apple has their own manufacturing company at China, and the reason they are opening their manufacturing company at China is because of the labor cost. And the next point will be available for 24/7. Every country has different time zone, and the workers can take over. The advantage of this is that the workers can take over their co-workers' work as where they're left off, and the position will always be open, and there's always a person in charge. That's the second benefits. And the third one is new market and new opportunity. Offshoring, a multinational company can have new market strategy for this type of MNC offshoring. And moving on to the next slide, which is disadvantage. The first one is language barrier. As of doing MNC company in offshoring, some countries, their second language is not English, and they may have a language barrier there, and it will also bring communication problem between both sides. And the second one is culture. Every country has different culture, and also style when they are doing business. It's just how they do. And however, to overcome this problem, they need to understand each other cultures to make it happen in business. And the third one is quality control. Every company has their own quality when producing services or products. However, they need to look at it twice before or making sure that the product or services is ready to be published to the public before anything that is out of control happen. And the fourth one is increasing of unemployment. And the fifth one is time zone. As mentioned before in benefits, time zone has given benefits to company. And however, it also brings disadvantages as it could affect the workers when dealing with other countries, as workers might feel overwork as they need to follow the other countries' time zone, and also they may be less productive. And that's all from me. With benefits and disadvantage, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Naufal, and I will present about the challenge and problems in Shell company. First is Shell constantly collaborate with people from other nationalities as part of their expatriates assignment. It will affect the offshoring organization because they involve difference in religious belief, dress code, time management, and the use of various gestures. The third is communication is a problem in organization, especially in Shell, which is frequently carried out across borders in a mixture of language. Language use can be seen as being at the heart of the international management process, both creating and reflecting organizational realities. The process of recruitment and selection is quite difficult, especially in light of globalization, which can affect offshoring organization, which allow firms to operate in more than one country. Lastly, this is because some of the difficulties encountered in the process include high cost of advertising job openings and communication gaps between recruiters and hiring managers. That's all from me.
All right. Hi, madam. Thank you for having us. My name is Izzat Muzaffar, and I'll be presenting about the ways to reduce challenge and problems. So the first solution for the challenge is that the HR team should give cross-cultural training for the organization cultures and diversity teams. This training can boost workplace satisfaction and morale among employees with cultural diversity. The goals of this training is to help employees to overcome cultural difference at work. For examples, it may teach people how to reduce cultural barriers, recognize their own and the other's culture's talents, and focus their attention on shared principles rather than differences. For the second point is, staff may use the common language. Again, the human resource are in charge again in overcoming linguistic communication difficulties. For examples, they need to find a common language such as English that everyone can use, that everyone can communicate easily. One of the most typical obstacles when working in a multicultural team is overcoming language limitation among personnel. This is due to the fact that each team members can speak in a different language. Once we've decided on a language, remove any remain language barriers, such as encouraging the staff to acquire the least a few important words in various languages to make the workplace more inclusive. So the third issue will be fair recruiting and selection. In this section of problem, Shell is a big company that hires thousands of people in a year from other business that needs to struggle to attract and hire diverse individuals, and prejudice are frequently at blame. In recruitment, what Shell need to do is to tighten the law of recruitment and not to put only one race of people in doing the interview and selection session. It is assumed that they must be fair to all cultures and nationalities. This is to avoid a biased recruiting process and based on the attitudes and views of members of the hiring committees. For example, Shell have to hire an employee based on their experience and agility in the firm. So for the next point is the HR team needs to provide a leadership training. Leadership development is frequently praised as a hazy term, despite the fact that it appears to be critical and enhancing organizational success. There are, however, methods to instill the process and ensure that pervade all levels of businesses and provide demonstrable outcome. And the last point is to understand of managing diversity training for brilliant personnel. Educating HR on how to manage skilled people on diversity is a terrific strategy to improve the organization's workplace. For example, having a clear, precise definition of what the program should cover is the first step in the designing a diversity and inclusion training program for the business. So that is all for my part. Thank you, madam.
Performance-based assessment will give us a better idea of each applicant's strengths and weaknesses rather than a resume. Last tips are patience. Employing the suitable outsourced personnel may take more time, effort, and money. For example, Shell, the human resource department of Shells will go through the resume of the applicants and arrange the telephones interview first. After that, they need to complete assessment to the applicants, and then Shell will set up a virtual interview to investigate the applicants. So next is the cultural clash is unavoidable. So the recommendations of overcoming cultural barriers are request the service provider provide cultural training for both off-store and on-store personnel. So cultural training will also assist both teams in identifying the communication style of each other. Moreover, consistent communication is essential and plan frequent video conference meeting. For example, an Asian worker who work in the Western company like Motorola company, the Western company must provide some cultural training to the Asian worker due to the work culture for Asians and Western are totally different. Last is a scheduling problems also must take it seriously. To overcome these problems, we have to find out important dates and holidays ahead of time. This will allow us to plan our workflow and schedule ahead of time. Next is determine how many days of off-store teams will need to prepare for a meeting and mark it on their calendar so that the on-store team can plan accordingly. This allows the entire group to set default rules such as meeting should be scheduled at least 7 days in advance. And then some routine recurring meetings also help since everyone will automatically expect to have a meeting on specific date, such as every Friday, the last working day will have a meeting like that. So that's all from my part. So I'll pass it to the next presenter. Thank you.
Right. So for the conclusion, offshoring is one of the important things in multinational companies to grow their business worldwide. And with a great international human resource management in company, it can help the company to run the business efficiently. With give enough training to the employees, create a healthy work environment and solve any problem that will arise among the workers. Lastly, with all this implication has been done, it can enhance the motivation for the employees and at the same time can make the company more developed and growth in the future. So that's all from our presentation. Thank you.